So good morning, everyone, and welcome to this info session for the CIRCA scholarship applications. But before I discuss anything about our scholarship applications, let me first give you a short background about CIRCA, and then we will move to the types of applications, the general and specific requirements and benefits, and then later, as Paula mentioned, there will be another presentation on how to navigate the scholarship application platform of CIRCA. Okay, so first, CIRCA refers to the Southeast Asian Regional Center for Graduate Study and Research in Agriculture. Our headquarters is in Los Baños, Laguna, Philippines, and the picture on the screen is the facade of our building. CIRCA was established in November 1966, so we shall be celebrating our 60th anniversary next year. And CIRCA is one of the 26 specialist institutions of SIMEO in the region. SIMEO is the Southeast Asian Ministers of Education Organization, and it is an intergovernmental organization or a treaty organization, just like the ASEAN. But it was established before ASEAN was born, or a year before to be exact, that is in 1965. And SIMEO is there to promote regional cooperation in education, science, and culture. Note that when we say regional, we mean the Southeast Asian region. And for this matter, CIRCA is also referred to sometimes as SIMEO CIRCA. Now, as CIRCA is SIMEO's specialized center for agriculture, our mandates are to provide high-quality graduate education and training in agriculture and related fields. And that is why we give out scholarships. We also promote, undertake, and coordinate research addressing the region's most pressing agricultural challenges, as well as disseminate our research findings. We operate in the 11 member countries of SIMEO, and that's the same as the 10 ASEAN member states, plus Timor-Leste, which became a member of SIMEO from way back in 2006. For CIRCA's graduate scholarships, we have two major types: the full master's and PhD scholarships, and the PhD research scholarships. Now, how do they differ? The full scholarships, whether master's or PhD, provide support for tuition, travel. It says they're including one round-trip international airfare if necessary. We have medical and health insurance, monthly living allowance or stipend, and budget for research. Our scholars are also released their full benefits for up to 2 years for the master's degree and up to 3 years for PhD if they started out as new students in the program. And these are subject to satisfactory academic performance every year, plus the submission of some required documents. The PhD research scholarships, on the other hand, provide support for the research only. And it says here, good for only 1 year. Because the PhD research scholarship is meant for those who do not have a full scholarship, or for those who have scholarships but lack funding for their research. And that's why they should be towards the end of their scholarship, or rather, the end of their study program. And that's why the PhD research scholars are expected to complete their degrees 1 year after the awarding of the scholarship. This info session is meant for the full scholarship. Now, for the funding, the PhD research scholarship is at the moment funded solely by CIRCA, but our full scholarships may be funded by CIRCA alone or jointly with partners. And for right now, this call, our partners are Tokyo Nodai, but only for the PhD program, National Taiwan University, and the Aqua ASEAN project led by CIRAD for master's program only, and for specific programs, which we will discuss later. For both Masters and PhD, we have the German Academic Exchange Service or DAAD, University Putra Malaysia, and Sejong University. CIRCA also runs other joint scholarships with other partners. However, these are not available for public recruitment, but is meant solely for the partner institution, no, to build the capacities of their employees, such as those that we have with the Center of Excellence for Sustainable Agricultural Intensification and Nutrition of Cambodia, or CESAIN, and with Bulacan State University and the like. Okay. Now, since 1967, the academic year 1967 to 1968, when CIRCA first awarded scholarships, we have already granted a total of 1,991. And you see on the screen the breakdown in terms of, well, the orange portion is those that were funded fully by CIRCA. The yellow are those full scholarship but are funded with a funding partner. And the PhD research scholarships number 131. And that's the green part. So for the total PhD research scholarships, you have a breakdown on the right side of the screen according to the country of origin of the scholars. And on the left, you have the total alumni coming from the scholarship grants. Again, broken down according to country of origin. These are all also evident in our website. Now, why 1,639 only when we only have about 135 ongoing scholars? Well, that is because some of the scholars got both master's and PhD scholarships, no? So they're only counted once as alumni. Now, for our call for scholarship applications, as has been mentioned by Paula earlier, our full master's and PhD scholarships will start the call in August 1, but but there may be other calls later depending on our funding partners. And the deadline for this call will also depend upon the Ministry of Higher Education in your home countries. We'll tell you later why. For the PhD research scholarships, calls are made twice a year, and there is currently an ongoing call that ends at the end of this month, July 30. The second call will be sometime in December of this year or early January of the following year. The full master's and PhD scholarships, as I mentioned, may have another call depending on our funding partners. So if, for example, the AAD says later on in November that we will open a call for the AAD scholarships until January, then we will make another full master's and PhD scholarships call solely for the AAD scholars, for example, from November to January. All right. So for this general call, you are applying to the MS and PhD scholarships funded by CIRCA, University Putra Malaysia, and the other joint scholarships, National Taiwan University, Sejong University, Tokyo Nodai, and the like. Now, how do you apply? Again, there will be another presentation for this, but I'd like to say that you will fill up an online application at our portal, we usually call it ISCO, and upload e-copies of the required documents, your transcript of records, the results of your IELTS to show proof of English proficiency, a recommendation from a former professor or your current or previous employer, a certification of good health, admission from your preferred university among our study posts, passport of any government ID, or, sorry, that is passport or any government ID showing your nationality, a brief description of your intended research for your thesis or dissertation, and an e-copy of certificate of completion or diploma, unless your transcript of records already specifies that you have already graduated with such and such degree. No? Now, these are our study posts. And depending upon the funding partner, scholars may enroll in any of the following. Why do I say depending upon the funding partner? Because, for example, you are applying for the NTU CIRCA scholarships, then you can only apply for National Taiwan University. If you're applying for the Sejong CIRCA scholarship, then you can only enroll in Sejong University. No? So that depends upon the type of scholarship that would be relevant to you. But in general, the CIRCA scholars are posted at IPB University in Bogor, Indonesia. The next logo there is from Universitas Gadjah Mada, also in Indonesia, Yogyakarta. Universitas Brawijaya is in Malang, Indonesia. Kasetsart University in Thailand. Major University in Thailand, the University of Putra, Malaysia. And then in the second line, you have the University of the Philippines, Los Baños, Visayas State University, Central Luzon State University. All three are from the Philippines. You have National Taiwan University, Tokyo Nodai or Tokyo University of Agriculture, for which we also have a joint scholarship, and Sejong University. So the last three, National Taiwan University, Tokyo Nodai, and Sejong University, are specific for the joint universities that we have there. Okay. There are other study posts that you will be informed later when it comes to our new project on Aqua ASEAN, referring to aquaculture majors. Okay, now what do you get out of the scholarship? So in general, I say in general, you or scholars would benefit from a travel allowance, that's the round-trip air ticket, from home country to study post at the beginning, and then at the completion of the degree, from the study post to the home country. We also pay for tuition and other school fees, miscellaneous. We give book and supplies allowance every semester. We provide funding for health and life insurance. We have a monthly living allowance that differs whether you are master's or PhD scholars, and a thesis or dissertation support. Sorry, for the research part. Now, what are the eligibility requirements? You must be a national of one of the SIMEO member countries. So, either Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos PDR, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, Timor-Leste, or Vietnam. Not more than 40 years old for master's, or not more than 45 for PhD at the time of application. You must have a proficiency in the English language as determined by your IELTS score. We require a score of 6 or better, even if English was your medium of instruction in the previous degree, no? So that goes for everybody. Now, what happens if you do not have this yet at the time of application? Then you can upload a statement that says that you are still applying to get the IELTS test and that you will submit this later on. So note that this is an eligibility requirement. So before we grant the scholarship, we check again whether you have already an IELTS test score. Okay, and your research topic must align with the thrusts of CIRCA. Currently, that means your research must address either of the following: to increase farmers' income, improve food security and nutrition, increase climate resilience of agricultural systems, or to empower farmers, farmer groups, agricultural stakeholders, and institutions. What does this mean? This means that, for example, even if you are an agricultural economics major, a statistics major, or an applied mathematics major, even a data science major, but your research falls on, your research would support the increase in climate resilience of agricultural systems, say by coming up with climate models or premiums for agricultural insurance and the like, then you are eligible to apply for the CIRCA scholarship. If you are a community development major and your thesis would empower farmer groups or stakeholders, then you are eligible to apply for the scholarship. No? But say, even if you are a major of say community development, but your research will not fall under any of the following 4 target outcomes of CIRCA, then you will be weeded out from the scholarship applicants, no, when we choose the shortlisted applicants for interview. Now, I say these are general eligibility requirements and financial benefits because each joint scholarship differs in terms of specific requirements and benefits. For example, for the National Taiwan University CIRCA Joint Scholarship, scholars must be enrolled only in the following 3 programs. First, the Master's Program in Global Agricultural Technology and Genomic Science, or Global ATGS. It is a 24-credit cross and interdisciplinary program that focuses on the development of innovative core technologies and strategies that will improve agriculture production efficiency. And the program also provides internship opportunities at corporate and international research organizations. Also, you could qualify for the NTU CIRCA Joint Scholarship if you are enrolling in the Master's Program in Biodiversity. Again, it's a 24-credit program that integrates the perspectives of humanities, social sciences, and environmental sustainability into the study of biodiversity conservation. And third and last one, the MS Program in Disaster Risk Reduction and Resilience of NTU. This is a 24-credit program that provides risk assessment, climate change adaptation, contingency planning, resilience expertise, and application-based hands-on training, aiming to train industry leaders with a holistic vision for investing in sustainability efforts. So, if you wish to apply for the NTU CIRCA scholarship, then you can only enroll in these 3 master's programs. If you're enrolling at NTU, but outside of these programs, then again, we cannot grant you the NTU CIRCA Joint Scholarship. As of the moment, we're actually still negotiating for the other programs under the College of Biotechnology and Agriculture. No? But as we still have to negotiate the others, then these are the only 3 programs that you could enroll at National Taiwan University. As for Sejong University in South Korea, you can enroll in their master's or PhD degrees in anything that is agriculture and related sciences. However, the applicants must be accepted by a Sejong University professor with an existing project that will fund the scholars' expenses at Korea, no? And this must be made prior to the scholarship application. Well, you can actually apply right now, but in the process, before we award the scholarship, you need to have been accepted by a Sejong University professor. Okay. Now, applicants must be willing to become research assistants to the advisor's project or laboratory because that is what will fund your scholarship, as I mentioned. CIRCA funds for the Sejong University CIRCA Scholarship. CIRCA funds the airfare plus a top off to everything else that Sejong will provide, no? In terms of tuition, living allowance, even the research allowance and the like. So that will depend upon the advisor's project or laboratory. For the Tokyo Nodai CIRCA Scholarship, this is a dissertation by doctorate program, meaning there's no coursework requirement. And this is a by research program. And that is why part of the eligibility requirements is to have 3 peer-reviewed scientific papers published in scholarly journals and with at least 1 as senior or sole author. Now, the applicant has to upload copies of these publications in the online platform. Also, the student must find a suitable advisor at Nodai. Well, sometimes CIRCA could help, but there are also times when we fail to match an applicant, a potential applicant, with a suitable advisor. And that's why right now we require that before awarding the scholarship, the applicant must already have found a suitable advisor depending on the topic of the research that he or she wants to pursue at Tokyo Nodai. The benefits for Nodai CIRCA scholarship are also different. That is because, as I mentioned earlier, there are no courses for this. The Nodai CIRCA scholars are expected to go to Tokyo Nodai once a year for 3 years, and that is for 1 month each year. And that is to report to the Nodai supervisor what have happened in the research, to give seminars, or to do laboratory work and the like. So that is only for 1 month each year for 3 years. And so part of the benefits is an international round-trip plane ticket per year for 3 years for those 1 month consultations with the advisor, allowance to cover expenses for food and accommodation during that period, a budget for printing of dissertation, examination, and academic supervision fees, which all come from the side of Tokyo Nodai, and a one-time international travel for the scholar's advisor to visit the scholar's research in the home country of the scholar. Again, that one is provided for by Tokyo Nodai. But CIRCA provides the round-trip plane ticket every year for 3 years, and CIRCA and Nodai jointly covers the allowance for expenses and food, for expenses for food and accommodation during that period. We have a new scholarship window, and this is for a project called Aqua ASEAN. The project has already been approved. This is led by our CIRAD colleagues, but CIRCA takes care of the scholarship part. We have not yet uploaded anything on our website about this because we're waiting until after the memorandum of agreement between our side and the project side has already been signed. But we would like the call to be, the application to be part of this call. Okay, because this is only a project until December 2027. The project just started. It is until December 2027. And if we're giving a scholarship for master's programs, then the masteral student must start latest by January 2026 so that he or she has full 2 years to complete the program. Otherwise, the project would already be finished and the scholar would not yet have completed the degree. And We do not want that as much as possible. Okay. So under the Aqua ASEAN project, the applicants could only come from any of the following countries: Cambodia, Lao PDR, Myanmar, or Timor-Leste. The scholars must be enrolled only in aquaculture, not in anything else, not in community development, not in environmental science and the like. So solely in aquaculture, it can be like tropical aquaculture or marine aquaculture, whatever. But it must be focused on aquaculture, and the research that the scholar must do should be on circular aquaculture. You know about circular economy, the same philosophy, except that it's applied at aquaculture. So the philosophy is to reduce the waste by recycling it, no, or optimizing the resource use. Okay. The Aqua ASEAN scholar must study also in either of the following 3 universities, all of which are not part of the regular study posts of the CIRCA scholarship. And these are University of the Philippines, Visayas, Kanto University in Vietnam, and Asian Institute of Technology in Thailand. So if you are interested for our aquaculture majors, then this is an opening that is available for you. Now, can aquaculture majors also apply to add to the CIRCA scholarship? By all means. If your research would increase the farmers, in this case, the fishermen, no, income, or empower them and the like, then you are also eligible to apply for the other types of CIRCA scholarship. Now, we have other types of scholarship, as I mentioned earlier, like the University Putra Malaysia Scholarship, but there are no specific requirements for that. Our general requirements and general scholarship benefits apply also to the UPM CIRCA scholarship. But you only could enroll in University Putra Malaysia. For the DAAD scholarship, we have not yet received word from DAAD, excuse me, for the opening of the scholarship this year. And that is why those who wish to apply for DAAD can apply in this general call. But when DAAD comes and tells us, for example, that we will have another call for this year, then we will open another call. And those who have applied for this scholarship just needs to upload additional requirements, if there are any, for the DAAD CIRCA scholarship. Okay. Now, after application, how is the assessment done? Okay. This time around, we go back to the ministries of higher education in your home countries. Previous to the last 5 years, this is how the scholarship application was, no? And we're just coming back to that. So first, you apply in our online platform. We give access to the ministries of higher education. Well, depending on their requirements, they may ask you to provide them something else. But the first stop is the Ministry of Higher Education in your home countries, because they will make the initial assessment and they will send their endorsement to CIRCA. Now, note that especially for the CIRCA-funded scholarship, we can only entertain scholarship applications of those that have been endorsed by the ministries of higher education, meaning that the Ministry of Higher Education makes the first shortlist from among all applicants in their home country for the CIRCA-funded scholarship. Now, for shortlisted applicants, there will be an interview by a panel with representatives coming from CIRCA, the Ministry of Higher Education from your home country, and probably from somewhere else, no? It could be from SIMYO, from higher education institution in your home country or from CIRCAS partners. So the interview is usually done face-to-face in the home country, but sometimes it may be done virtually also, no? Now, what happens next? Based on the criteria, well, as I mentioned earlier, the criteria may differ from one scholarship to another. But what happens is that if it is solely funded by CIRCA, if you're applying to a scholarship that is solely funded by CIRCA, then our department, the Education and Collective Learning Department, will make our recommendation to the center director for approval. Otherwise, if the scholarship is funded with a partner, then CIRCA will recommend a short list to our funding partners for approval, because the choice of the scholarship recipients are also made jointly with the funding partners. So that goes for everybody, no? Whether NTU, Sejong, NODAI, DAAD, UPM, and the like. Now, how are you assessed generally, or for the CIRCA solely funded scholarships? You're assessed on the basis of your academic background. If you're applying, for example, for an MS in forestry, but your bachelor's degree, say, is in community development, then that's a long way off, no? So we look to your previous degree, whether these are relevant to the proposed field that you now wish to pursue. So that's academic background. We also look at professional experience. There are joint scholarships that may not require professional experience, such as NTU, for example. But in general, we look at your work background or professional experience. And that's why there's also a recommendation from a supervisor if you are working, no, from your work supervisor. So academic background, professional experience, then your academic productivity. If you are attending or presenting papers in conferences, if you have paper publications in scientific journals, especially for our PhD applicants, then you're way ahead than the others, something like that. We look at your research topic and how it is relevant to your community and how it is relevant to the CIRCA Thrust. Remember the CIRCA Thrust earlier, to increase farmers' production, to increase climate resilience, to increase food security and nutrition, and to increase the capacity of our farmers, farmer groups, stakeholders, and institutions. And finally, your English proficiency, as evidenced by your test. If you do not have that yet, then during the interview, we gauge how your English proficiency is, and also by what you submit. Then the interview will also give us an inkling of your motivation for the scholarship application, of your potential for leadership, and the like. So all of this goes into the rating for your application. So we give a particular number of points for each of these, and then the total points once they are all in, all the applicants are now ranked from highest to lowest. And if we're giving like 25 scholarships for this fiscal year, then we take the first 25 in the list as our priority candidates for scholarships for the next academic year. Remember, what you're applying for now will be scholarships starting in academic year 2026-2027. And that means August or September 2026, except for Aqua ASEAN, which should start by January 2026.